Then there's a traffic light, which I think is cool because you could pretty much use this for anything. It could be like, okay, when you're on a green light, you're actively doing your activity or whatever assignment you've been given, or, and then, okay, we're on a yellow light, we need to kind of wrap it up our independent work because we're going to come together again and discuss it. Red light, okay, everybody's cleaning up. We're done working on this activity and we need to clean up to get ready to go or to move on. This is a cool thing because you could really make these lights mean anything. You could change the style, which is so cool because I never noticed that before. But yeah, you could really make these lights mean pretty much anything. It doesn't have to be a specific thing. You could use it as a voice level thing if you like. But I think this stoplight is really cool. This timetable is pretty new, which I think is also really awesome because you might forget that, or you might forget because I have alarms for my classes, but students might want to know, okay, what's going on today, and if you don't have a schedule in your room, you can use this. For me, this is helpful because I teach a class that sees, or a specials class or electives class, so I see different classes every day, and it'd be nice to have their schedule up there so they know exactly what they're doing, or what time they're leaving this classroom, what we're doing, when we're doing this activity. And there's like a little alarm. So if we're doing an activity and I need them to be done and packed up by 8:45, I might have it ring at 8:40, and that means we have 5 minutes to get lined up and ready to go. Um, so this is really cool because it displays schedule. It could also display a checklist, which I think is also really cool. So like if I'm getting those two things done, I need to work on this. So it really promotes like independence in the classroom, kids taking initiative, and repeated questions not being asked over and over for kids that either walked in late or probably aren't listening too well to instruction. We have a timer, which I like to use as timer, but I'm more of a fan of um, this timer. I'll show you in a minute, but I'll leave that up here to show you the difference. This is a clock, like it says. I like to keep this up because I don't have a clock in my room. And instead of buying one, I just have that on the board at all times so they know if we're leaving this class at 8:30, we have this much minutes, counting down those minutes. We've all done it. So whenever you're done looking at all these tools, you think that's it, but this little waffle here shows you that there's more. And this is what I want to tell you about the visual timer. I think I like this timer a little bit better because it kind of shows them how much time is left. So if I set a timer for 15 minutes and start it and they see that time ticking away, it kind of puts into perspective, how much time they've used and how much time they have. I think it's really cool as a timer. They're both good timers, though. They both work. So we'll go back to more. We have the calendar, shows up there. I love using the calendar as well. Helps kids remember what day we're on. It's nice to see displayed up in the room. We have rolling the dice. Once again, a good randomizing tool. Like, okay, just for a quick fun activity, if I roll three, you guys have to give three people a high five, or before you sit down, or you have to give a couple compliments, or something like fun. This is a good thing to use for. Or for one activity, I had groups who had to present, and instead of using the list randomizer for like a specific name, I numbered each group, and I said, okay, whichever one I roll goes first, and I use this, so it was nice because I wasn't picking the group, and the kids were really excited to see if they got rolled or not. There's also drawing, which you could draw. It shows a text box, but I really like the other drawing one better. But I guess this works if you want to draw something and kind of pull it to the side and continue. So that's what that text box would be for. Then we have, or the draw, I'm sorry, not text box. The embed link, because you could embed like, things from internet sites. You have the group maker. So this is really cool too because it creates groups for you, which I think is awesome because that's something else that people don't really think about. Like, kids don't want to be in this group or that group. So it makes a list. You give it a list, or like if I were to put one of these teachers' names, it would make a group for me. So there would be no, oh, that's not fair. Or, I mean, it might move some people around and they might meet new people through these lists, which is really cool. QR code, you could actually design a QR code. So, like if I said, um, your assignment is chapter 4, numbers 2 through 16, right? And I generate a QR code. You can leave that on your board. And if your kids are very, like, everybody in there has a phone, is very tech savvy, they might be able to scan this QR code with their cell phone and that text will pop up so they'll know what their homework is, which, I mean, you could just write it down, but I think it's really cool making your own QR code. We have a stopwatch, a webcam. Those pretty much do what they say they do. Video, you could upload any video from YouTube. I mean, we'll type the link and put it here. So if I have a YouTube video that applies to the lesson, I'll stick it on there and watch that quick video real quick, and then we'll go on with the lesson. It's really nice then not having to go in between two tabs during class. Let's see. And then event countdown. I like to use this. Oh, look, it even has it on there. We had a volleyball game, and I put it down before so people knew about the game, and everybody was able to count down the days towards it so they could support the school, excuse me, and show up. We have a hyperlink one. So once again, you could put a hyperlink in here, and it would share it on this smart board. And there's that visual timer, excuse me. So once again, these are really cool things that you could use. But I also wanted to bring up how you can, once I brought up earlier, how you can make another slide and just go in between those slides, right? Like I have this for the first class, this for the second class. Well, how would you be able to view all those? There's actually a way to do that. You click home and it shows you your screens that you already have and everything. I mean, you could make a workspace here and add another workspace. Like this is for one class and this is for my other class if you're using it for different things. Um, I will say right now I do not have the pro subscription, but I definitely recommend it because right now I could do these screens and use them for my classroom, but once I go back to school after break, because we're on break, these screens will be gone. If I pay for it, you have the option of saving your screens, saving your background. So what I do every week is I have like as many whiteboards as I have classes, and I will set them up for that week with everything like kinder, first, second, third, so any activity we have on here, or if I'm introducing what we're doing or the joke of the day, it's on all these screens and it's saved. So I think this subscription is pretty amazing. I am thinking of getting again. I have been using Canva instead because it's free, but I will say there's things that Canva can't quite do yet that Classroomscreen has already done, like the timers, being able to do all the stuff. You can't do that anywhere else. So I definitely recommend this for any classroom. There's so many more things you could do with it, but this is just my first video about it. But I definitely hope that more of you will use this in your classroom, or if it's helpful, of course. Technology can be used to benefit from. So I would definitely check it out if you haven't before. Thanks for watching.